No music. No music. It's in the rule book. It's church. No? Alright guys, welcome to the PM session. Give us a shout out if you can hear the audio loud and clear, or if it's patchy, let me know in the comments. So next up we have Tish Cambodge from Paragon Strength, opening up his account with 190 kilos. This is his first comp as an 83 kilo lifter, previously coming up from the 74 and then 77 kilo class. And we'll see how he goes here on this opener. Nice and easy, 190, and referees agree with 3 white lights for Tish. Next up is Adam Hussein, also out of Paragon Strength, and also competing in the 83 kilo class, and also opening at 190. Are you doing the time? Very comfortable looking squat there from Adam. And unfortunately, 2 red lights for depth. We'll just have to go a little bit deeper on these next 2. Next up, Aiden Potts with a 200 kilo opener, also competing in the 83 kilo class. He's the 2020 Powerlifting Australia 85 kilo national champion, opening his account up at 200 here today, and just going to be doing enough to qualify for states in a few weeks' time. So he's not going to be emptying the tank. So expect these to move extremely quick. And easy as you like. 3 white lights for Aiden. It's on the board. Next up is Francesco Liberty, opening his account also at 200 kilos. Bar is loaded for Chich, 200. Nice and deep, down and up, easy as you like. 200 kilos on the board for Chich. Plenty more in the tank. Next up, Patrick Congester. Junior 83 kilo lifter, opening his account with 202.5. Nice and smooth there for Pat. 3 wide lights. Next up, Mr. Joey Zingini out of Strong 24/7 down in Wollongong, opening his account up at 222.5. Joey's actually gone up weight class, and this will be his first one in the 83. So hopefully we'll see some PBs from Joey. His training's been looking really good. Very methodical setup from Joey. Nice and deep. Very easy looking. 3 white lights. Nice, bro. Next up we have Simon, who recently competed here in November, and he's going to be opening up at 225, also in the 83 kilo class. And he's one to look out for in that deadlift. We'll be pulling well into the 300s, which will be very exciting to watch. Looking strong on the walkout. Pretty fast there. And it's 3 white lights for Simon. The last lifter of this group in round 1 is James Lee with a 235 kilo opener. Are these guys all 83s? Except for one. Oh, two. 274s. And the bar's loaded for James with 235. Very easy opener there for James. Plenty more in the tank, which I'm sure he will be loading up across his next 2 attempts. Now back up to the start of the group. For the first squat of round 2, we have Francis Young attempting 165. A 7.5 kilo jump from his opener, which admittedly I did not see, so this will be my first of watching Francis. And the bar's loaded for Francis, and here he comes. He's competing in the 74 kilo class. He is a junior. Bright career ahead of him. Very comfortable second attempt there for Francis. And the referees agree, it's 3 white lights. Up next, Tish with a 15 kilo jump from his opener from 190 up to 205 kilos. His opener looks extremely easy, so expect this one moves quite smoothly too. Just getting his final words of encouragement from his game day coach Matt Bartholomew at the back. And here he comes, buzz loaded for Tish. Very compact squat setup. Doesn't waste any energy, Tish. That's wonderful looking. Second attempt at 205 there. Plenty more in the tank. Nice, easy second attempt. And up next, Adam with the same attempt as Tish again, 205. Now, unfortunately, Adam missed his first on depth. His coach Matt has decided to increase the weight quite substantially because it was very easy, and the depth was extremely close. So a little bit more depth and should have no issues here. That was much deeper and very smooth. Referees say 3 white lights for Adam, and he's on the board with 205. Great squatting. Up next is Aiden Potts with a 10 kilo jump from his extremely easy opener. I'm guessing this will move at the same speed. Bars loaded for Aiden, 210. No issues there with 210. I think all of Aiden's lifts today are going to look a lot like that. Just just like I said earlier, just doing enough to qualify for state championships in 14 weeks. Up next is Chich with another 10 kilo jump from 200 to 210. Hoping to look great. Expect this will be very similar. Very comfortable. And 3 white lights from the referees. Easy 210 kilo squat there from Chich in the 74 kilo class. It's good lifting so far. Up next, Pat Congester with a 10 kilo jump from 202.5 to 212.5. See how he goes here. A junior 83 kilo lifter. Just 21 years old, Pat. And unfortunately, not quite the strength there. And just a word out to all the lifters who are listening at home. If that does happen to you in competition, you must stay with the bar, because as you can see there, it made the spotter's life quite difficult. If the lifter does stay with the bar, it makes it much easier for them to put the bar back on the rack. So now we have to unload it, pick it up, put it back on the rack, then reload it again. And it's also for the spotter's safety to stay with the bar and make it easier for them. So Joe Zingini's up next with 237.5 kilos. He's taking a 15 kilo jump from a very comfortable opener. Expect he'll be looking at around 250 for that last one. And the bar is loaded for Joey. Yeah, here he comes. What are the comments saying? Anyone in the comments? Cool. Joey's a seasoned competitor. I believe this is his 33rd competition. There's no stranger to the platform. Nice comfy looking second there at 237.5. Now I want to see 250 loaded. Hopefully he also does. Up next is Johardy with 240, 15 kilo jump. Nice sizable jump from him. Very good squat opener. And nice fight through the middle there. Good lifting, but unfortunately just one white light. So 2 red lights for depth there from Simon. So in the powerlifting, if you do miss an attempt, you cannot go down in bar weight. So he will either have to retake that weight, or he'll have to take a small jump up from there. You cannot decrease a weight that you've missed. Up next, James Lee opened at 235, jumping 10 kilos to 245. 235 is extremely easy. So this will probably be quite conservative as well. And just talking to the spotters out there. letting them know that this is going to be easy weight, I think. It's in my pocket. And that is equally comfortable as the first one. 245. Good lifting from James. Back to the start of the group for the beginning of round 3. So as the rounds progress, obviously the bar weight progresses as well. So we'll start to see some harder lifts, as this is a qualifier for state championships. There are a few lifters who are taking it quite comfortable today, so we might have a few grinders mixed in with some really easy third attempts. So we'll keep an eye on how that goes throughout this round. It's been great squatting so far from all of these young men. Hoping to see mostly made lifts here. Thank you for the shout out, Mr. Cody Savage. Anyone who's watching at home, put in the comments who you're cheering for. Show them some support and I'll shout them out on the stream. Third attempt there for Francis at 172.5. It's a good lift. It's 3 white lights. 3 out of 3 squats there for Francis. You can't do any better than that. Just a great start to the comp. Next up, Pat Congester. Unfortunately, he missed this on his second attempt, so he's coming back to take it again. Like I was saying earlier, the bar weight cannot go down across attempts. So if you do miss, you have to take at least that weight on the following attempt. Got a few people cheering for Simon and for Chich. And I can't read that last one. Oh, Potts, of course. Buzzload for Pat. He's just putting his rescue wraps on before he enters the platform. The only thing you can adjust as a lifter once you step on the platform is your belt. So luckily enough, we have plenty of time. 60 seconds is a long time. And he should have plenty still here. Strong looking walk out there from Pat. Unfortunately, just not the strength there today for Pat. And he's left with his opener of 202.5. Thank you for the shout out, Mags. I'm just doing my best. Got some shouts out for Joey and some shouts out for Tish. And Tish is here with 215 third attempt. Presume this will be quite comfortable. He's a strong young man. Couple more people supporting Potsy today. Fortunately for you guys, he's going to be lifting very easy, so you're not going to see much. He's saving it all for state championships. Very comfortable third attempt there for Tish. 215 kilos, 3 white lights at the referees. Next up, Adam Hussein with 215. Maddie B coaching them both, getting a little bit lazy with the attempt selection, choosing the exact same attempts for both of them. It's just nice and efficient there from Matt, really. $205 look great from Adam. I'm confident he'll smash this one. Thank you, Axel, for the shout out. I'm a young Rabs. It's deep and it's through. Great lifting there from Adam. Coach Matt is pumped. S for Josh in the chat. F's in the chat for Josh. Bars loaded for Aiden Potts, 220. Like I've said, it's going to be very easy. Just ticking the boxes to move forward to state championships. Owner and head powerlifting coach at Hunter Performance Centre in Newcastle. If you haven't checked out the facility, would highly recommend it. It's hosted some great competitions already, with plans for more this year. 220, looking like nothing from Potts. 3 for 3, moving on. Someone said that was RPE 5. What do you reckon, Potts?
I'd like to think so.
I think it was easier than a 5.
Still get Hazel at the college shoot NBA games.
I'd love to do an NBA game. Whoever said that. Up next is Chich. 200, 210, now 220. Smooth through the middle. Very nice looking third attempt. Referees say 3 white lights for Chich. 220 on the board. 3 out of 3 squats. Can't do better than that.
Jump rope.
I've lost me soundproof. Up next we have Simon. Fortunately missed this 240 on the second attempt, so he's going to have another crack at it. Like I mentioned earlier, if you do miss a weight, you cannot go down. The bar weight must stay the same or increase across attempts. And the bar is loaded for Simon. Unfortunately, he just lost his balance at the top there. So you must hold your position that you start in. You must reassume that position at the top before the referee says rack. So unfortunately there, he just lost his balance and he lost his footing. So he didn't really have control of it. So Brady Cochran, you are right. The Rockets are the worst team in the league. It's all part of the plan. Process. Up next, Joey Zingini. Second attempt, 237. He's taking 10 kilo jump. I would have liked to have seen 250 loaded, but I reckon he's a very good chance at this one.
Let's go, Joey!
What a fight there from Joey. Yeah! 3 wide lights, 2 wide lights for Joey, 247. That's a big grinder. Love to see it.
Don't expect any less from you.
I was calling for him to do 250, so probably made the right call there. 247. Up next, James Lee with 267.5. He's taken a 22.5 kilo jump from his second. Big jump here, but I reckon he's got it in him. Very smooth through the middle there from James. Referees agree. 3 white lights there for James. And that concludes the squats for this afternoon. So we'll be having a 10-minute break before we start bench press. Oh wait, no we're not. We have Group A coming up next. The 93 kilo and above. I just want to go home earlier, to be honest. We've got the 93 kilo and above boys popping in for squats now. So first up is Taiwan with 180. So we've got a whole new group of lads coming in there for the 3 squats. I just figured there's no way we could top that squat from Joey, so we may as well call it. May as well not let anyone else squat. Very comfy opener there for time. 3 white lights are the referees. So the best way to get started in a powerlifting meet is to open with a really easy squat. Get that confidence, get acclimated to the environment around you, feel comfortable where you are, and your performance will improve across the day. If you open too heavy, never ends well. Up next is Lucas with 185. Lucas, coached by Aiden Potts at 100 Performance. Nice and deep. Up he comes. Easy opener there. 3 white lights for Lucas. Great start to his day. Up next, we've got Josh Horton, 190. Recently suffered a little bit of a back strain, so squats and deadlifts will be nice and light today. And just like a lot of the other lifters here, he just needs to do enough to qualify. So this should be pretty comfortable here for Josh throughout the day. Just as suspected, 190, moving like a 70 kilo warm up there for Josh Horton. Up next, Maddie Cunningham with 195. And the bar is loaded for Cunningham. Here he comes. Coach by Matt Bartholomew. Looking to put up a nice big total PB. His training's been going really well. Nice methodical setup from Matt. Some lifters prefer to slow it down like this, other lifters are a little bit more rushed. It's all about finding what setup works best for you. And very easy opener there for Cunningham. 3 white lights are the referees. Brendan Shand up next with 200 kilos even. Only a sub-junior, so very young lifter. Got his whole life of lifting ahead of him. I know I wasn't squatting 200 when I was 18. Very, very easy there from Brendan. 3 white lights. Good start to the meet for him. Bar is loaded for Kevin with his opener at 202.5. Lovely looking opener there for Kevin. It's 3 white lights from the referee. Coached by Tien of Team T. Alex Mai giving Kevin all the shout outs on the live stream. Bar is loaded for Michael Rand, 207.5. Now, Michael, I believe, has squatted in the 270s before. So I'm expecting this to be extremely easy. I'm expecting he's just also doing what he needs to do to qualify for state championships. He has totaled over 800 kilos as a 105 in the past. So I presume he's saving some juice for states in a few months. Yep. I think we'll be seeing some sandbag lifts from Michael today. Super easy opener, looking like a third last warm up. You just qualifying for that? Yeah. Nice and easy.
Yeah, I was just going to see the open.
There you go. There you go. Who said that?
Yeah.
That's not true.
Like, they might like the school play or something.
Up next, we've got Nick with 220. 8 weeks.
8 weeks. Excited?
Yeah. Nice and smooth. 220, and he's on the board. He spent the whole morning coaching, so he's probably a little bit tired after that. Emily Harvey says 290s. Are you referring to Michael Rand squatting in the 290s? Up next is Lawrence with a 220 opener. Nice and smooth. There you go. Rand has done 293, so today is even extra super sandbaggy. A few people cheering for Lawrence there, for good reason. Started off really well. Next up we have Jesse, 222.5. He's last year's APU New South Wales state champion. And he can open up his account with 222.5.
Another very methodical, calculated lifter. Likes to get his setup 100% dialed in. Nice and cruisy opener, 222.5, moving very smoothly there for Jesse. Coached by TN. Team T, hashtag Team T. A few hashtag Team T's in the chat. Up next, we are going back to the start of the group. And for round 2 squats. So Ty is opening up the second round with 192.5, 12.5 kilo jump from his opener. The bar's loaded for him, and here he comes. Very good. Very good second attempt there from Ty. Might see the elusive 200 kilos loaded on this third attempt. We'll have to wait and see what the coaches put in. Alex Fomin and TN running numbers. Brody saying tie me up. And then tie him down also, Stephen Day. Shout out to Stephen Day. Lucas up with a 10 kilo jump from his opener, 195 for his second. First time move nice and smooth, there should be no issue. Smooth second attempt there. Should see a little bit over 200 kilos on this last one. And he looks over at coach and he says 205, so we will be seeing 205 there for Lucas on his final attempt. Next up, Josh Horton taking a 10 kilo jump from 190 to 200. If you remember, his opener was very easy, just doing enough to qualify today. It's like a lot of our lifters. Very fast, very easy second attempt there for Josh. Shout out to you, Brody. I won't be reading any of the comments unless I actually find them funny, so a bit more effort, please. Braden has lots of fans watching at home. Second 10 kilo jump to his second attempt at 210, 18 years of age. Was very deep. Won't be missing for depth anytime soon. 210 looking real easy. And also taking 210 is Matt Cunningham, a 15 kilo jump for him. I believe this is a comp PB. I believe his best in meet is 206. So I think this is a 4 kilo PB, but I'm happy to be proven wrong here. If anyone else in the chat knows, please let me know. Hashtag Team MRC in the chat. Smooth through the middle there for Matt. Nice looking second attempt there at 210. Okay, so that was a 2 kilo PB. Thank you for the correction. Conversation between two Matts before the deciding out what the third attempt will be. Hoping no one saw that. Kevin Silver, 212.5. Prime time, Deion Sanders. Smooth as. Hashtag Team T, smooth as you like. Unfortunately, 2 red lights for depth. So I'll have to get in a little bit deeper. He can attempt that weight again, or he can also increase, but I presume they will probably take the same attempt to lock in some extra kilos on the total. Got a few people in the chat complaining about the call from the referees. So you must get the hip crease below the top of the knee in order to achieve depth. Looked pretty borderline to me, but I'm obviously not sitting in the same seat the referees are. Michael ran 217.5, 10 kilo jump. This is a very low percentage for him, so it should move like absolute nothing. I don't think Michael is going to break a sweat today. Boring. Yeah, I know. Yeah, why can't you do that? You're allowed to only do one. There's nowhere in the rule book that says you don't have to take attempts. Yeah, I strained my back, sorry. Yeah, but you could say that. And 10 kilo jump from Nick, 230 on his second here. 220 was smooth. We'll see how he fares with this one. Stephen Day, I agree. Very, very boring from Michael Rand. But great lifting from Nick there, 230. We'll see what he's got for his third. Up next is Lauren. 12.5 kilo jump, 220 to 232.5. Here he comes. Got a few people on the stream watching Lawrence. Do it for the homies back home. Nice smooth looking second attempt there, 232.5. And it was through. And the last lifter of the group is Jesse with 235 kilo second attempt. First run at 222 and a half was great. I expect this one goes up quite comfortably too. The way I see it, second attempts are an attempt that you will use as an indicator for how much we've got left on the day. So you should say these second attempts are heavy, but they're quite comfortable and gives us a marker on what number to choose for the third. So nice and smooth there from Jesse. And he'll know based off how that felt, how much he had left in the tank. And back to the start of the group. Got Ty with a 202.5 kilo squat. Very comfortable third attempt there for Ty. He probably had a little bit more in the tank. It's always better to undershoot the third than it is to overshoot it. A make is better than a miss. It's great lifting there from Ty. 3 out of 3. And moving on to bench. Up next, Lucas with 205. Taking 2 10 kilo jumps to get here. And here comes bars loaded. Great lifting there from Lucas. 205 kilos secured, 3 for 3. Moving on to bench. Looked like he had a little bit more left there as well, which is great. It's great lifting there from Lucas. Thank you, Wombat, for the shout out. Nikola Jokic, MVP. Up next, Josh Horton, 210 kilos. Another lifter who's taken 10 and 10. Josh has looked very easy so far. Hasn't broken a sweat. I expect nothing much different on this 210. Very easy there for Josh, 210. Tick, 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 moving on.
You almost did it, man.
Yes, Zach, I would have Jokic for MVP at this point in the season. But it's pretty close between him and Embiid. Giannis, third place. Kevin with a third attempt here at 215. So he did miss his second on depth. He has taken a small jump. Strength was definitely there in the last one. If he can add 2.5 kilos and get a little deeper, and tick this off. That would be great squatting there, and a really nice comeback from Kevin. I know he's got a lot of supporters in the chat. Have a look deeper, see what the refs say, and they agree. 3 white lights, Kevin, 215 kilos, locked in, and moving on to bench. Up next, Maddie Cunningham, a 5 kilo jump from 210 to 215. This will be a 7 kilo comp PB. Matt Cunningham really looking to capitalise on some good training he's had lately. Particularly bench and deadlifts have been the ones that have been going great for him, so looking forward to seeing these after the squats. I did a great job with that one. Stuck through the middle, nice and smooth the whole way through. 215, 3 white lights. And Kevin Silver really does have a fan club in the chat. And the bar is loaded for Brendan. 7.5 kilo jump from his second at 210. Just 18 years of age. It's a big squat for anyone at any age. 18 years old is very impressive.
There you go.
Did a great job fighting through that little sticking point there. And it's 3 white lights. Great lifting there from Brendan. Coached by Beth Parker. Up next, the most boring lifter of the day, Michael Rand. Unfortunately, just not really giving us much effort today. I would have loved to have seen some squats in the 280s, but he's just cruising, which is fine. He's going to save his juice for state championships. Bergner. Mr. Michael Sandbag Rand. 3 white lights. Boring. Randbag, very good, Zach. Needing a Michael Randbag. Next is Nicholas with 235, a 5 kilo jump from his second. Great fight through the middle there from Nick. And he's finished it off. Let's see what the referees say. They love it as much as we do. 3 white lights there for Nick. Great lifting. And the bar is loaded for Lawrence. 240. 7.5 kilo jump from his second attempt. Come on, mate. Boring. I won't be there. Nah, I probably will. I'm not doing it. And Lawrence has knocked over 240, and unfortunately the referees say 2 reds for depth. And we'll just have to go a little bit deeper with that one next time.
Rand, my baby will be like 5 weeks old, so I'm not doing that. No, I'm not. I'm going to do one in the
Jesse's taking a 5 kilo jump to his third, 240 on the bar. Nice and smooth through the middle there for Jesse. A little bit more in the tank there. I think that was a bit of a sandbag third attempt there from the boys, but they seem to be stoked with it. And now that will actually conclude the squats for this afternoon. So we're going to be taking a 10-minute break, and I'll be back to commentate some bench press. Welcome back, everybody, to the bench press segment of today's afternoon session. Opening up today on the bench will be Francis Yang with 107.5. We're just waiting for the referees to grab their seats, and then we will call bars loaded. The squat, we saw there are 2 commands from the referee, squat and rack. In bench press there are 3, start, press and rack. So in order to get the start command, your head must be on the bench, your hands must be gripping the bar inside the rings, your feet and your bum must be touching the surfaces, so obviously your bum must be on the bench and your feet must be flat on the floor, so you can't have your heels up like in other federations. So in order to achieve that position, to get the start command, you have to achieve that position, and then on the chest, the bar must be stationary for you to achieve the press command, and then the rack command, you must assume that position for the same position for the start command. So a little bit more technical is the bench press in powerlifting. So sometimes you may see someone miss a lift from the live stream angle and miss on a technicality, and you may not know why. I will try to explain it to you as we go. So the bar's loaded for Francis, and here he comes, 107.5 opener.
Alex.
And that is 3 white lights.
Alex, I need you to just move to the left.
That's good. And 3 white lights there for Francis with 107. And here comes Patrick with 117.5 kilo bench opener. That's great control there from Pat, and it's 3 white lights. You will notice that the lifters who control the bar better in the descent portion often touch the chest a lot tighter, and they stick the bar to their chest a lot quicker, which means the referee should give them a quicker press command. So we should see the lifters who do that get quicker press commands, and that is kind of the way that we should be approaching the bench press. Up next is Tish with 120. Got all 3 of his squats today, Tish finishing with 215, and they all look quite comfortable in the end. So I'm expecting comfortable bench presses as well. So he has been asked to replace the bar for his elbows not being locked. So he does have 20 seconds left on the clock to receive the start command from the referee. Just to get those arms a little straighter before he gets the start command. And he got the start command with 5 seconds to go. And the press was very easy. And it's 3 white lights. So it is a bit of a waste of energy if you do have to unrack and re-rack and then unrack again. So obviously we prefer if we got that start command on the first go around. So hopefully in the next one, Tish can sort out that little elbow issue at the start and not have to re-rack and unrack again.
Is the sound coming through? Is the sound working?
Up next we have Simon Chahard opening with 125 kilos. So Simon squatted 225 and he had 2 very close misses on technicalities with 240 on his second and third attempts. So hopefully he can clear up that for bench and get 3 successful attempts, and that's a really, really good start. Nice speedy looking 125 3 white lights at the referees. Everyone seems to have disappeared in the chat. If you are in the chat, keep the chat rolling. Get some dialogue going back and forward. I do know bench press is more boring than the other two, but let's try and keep things moving. There are still 100 of you watching. Let's get some chat. Let's get some chat flowing. Adam Hussein, 125 opener. Adam also squatted 215, and he looked really good doing it. Just 21 years of age. Smooth through the middle there for Adam. It's 3 white lights from the referees. It's good lifting. Up next is Francesco. Opening at 130 in the 74 kilo class. Takes that widest grip possible with his pinkies on the rings. Those rings are 81 centimeters across, and you cannot grip outside them. So if the referee can see them, they can not give you a start command and get you to re-rack the bar, like what happened with Tish earlier. So a lot of lifters do use the rules to their advantage and grip as wide as possible. And Chich is a great example of using that leverage as his advantage. Aiden Potts opening at 135. Should be quite a comfortable opener. Aiden is a very fast lifter, and he's taking easy attempts today. So super fast there from Aiden. But notice Aiden actually rotates his hand so that he can use his index finger to cover the ring, but actually grip the bar slightly wider. It's called a Japanese grip bench press. That's another technique that we can use to use an even wider grip than the rulebook allows, whilst still being in the rules. So again, another one of those things that we are doing with our technique to maximize our leverage. And if we do that, we can lift more weight, in theory. Thank you, Mr. Cody Savage. I think they should pay me for this, don't you think? Mr. Zingini, 140 kilos, easy as you like. 3 white lights. Now, Joey had a very hard squat, and oftentimes when you have a really hard squat, it does sap a little bit of the tank for what's left on the rest of the day. So we might see Joey need to be a little bit more conservative on the rest of his day, given how much energy he used on that squat. And you can tell by him coming and chatting shit on the stream that he still has enough energy, so we'll see how it goes. James Lee opening 152.5. This is the final opener of the group, and then we'll be starting round 2. Easy as you like there from James. Plenty more kilos to be had on his next 2 attempts. You see how he plays his day. He's 4 out of 4 after 4 lifts. Can't do any better than that. So the way that I visualize attempt selection, the opener is basically the last warm-up. The second attempt is really like an indicator. It tells us what we have left, and then that third attempt is playing and picking a number where we are pretty confident we've got it, which builds our total throughout the day. And as we know in powerlifting, the biggest total wins the competition. So if you play your attempts right, you can put out the biggest total you can. Francis Yang with 115, and it is 3 white lights for Francis. He's now 5 for 5, heading into his final bench press. The bar is loaded for Pat Congester. 5 kilo jump from his 117.5 kilo opener, which moved very well. Expecting the same here. Now he was only able to get 1 squat. So generally, if that happens, it's time to play the rest of the day a little bit more conservatively. So 5 kilos is quite a small jump from first to second bench. So it seems like he has learnt his lesson. And very nice soft touch there. And the referees say 3 white lights. A little bit more left there for him. Up next, Tish with 125 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from his first. Tish is actually coached by Beck Chambers, who is a close COVID contact, so unable to make it today. So being handled by Matt Bartholomew. Seasoned competitor Tish, he's done probably about 7 comps. I feel like he always goes 9 for 9. And he's got his arms straighter this time, so a much quicker start command with 30 seconds left on the clock. And a very nice looking press. 3 white lights there for Tish, 125. He now moves on to 5 for 5. Now Ryan, my thoughts on USAPL coming to Australia. I am all for more competitions, always, but I don't like the idea of diluted competition. So if it does divide the drug testing community and dilute the competition, then that would be a negative in my eyes. But, you know, if they run good meets and they have room for growth, you know, maybe we could see it become a huge federation, which is always a good thing with more people in powerlifting. So I think we're going to have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion yet until we see some meets run, we see the structure of things, and we see who's involved, because that will make a huge difference. And 132.5 there for Simon was very comfortable.
Huh? Yeah, someone asked me in the chat. Yeah. Asked me about USAPL coming to Australia. I just gave an honest answer.
Up next, Adam Hussein, 132.5, 7.5 kilo jump on his opener.
I have to be diplomatic. If you want to know what I really think, wait till the cameras are off.
I can't hear you. Nice fight through the middle there for Adam. 132.5 successful, 3 white lights. It's good lifting. Everyone who walks past me has been avoiding my fist bumps, and I feel like a real loser right now. So can you guys in the chat give me some virtual fist bumps? No comment, Pat. Cheers for the 5 kilo jump on his opener 135 here. And it's really good lifting. 135 through white lights. Approaching double body weight for bench press is a really big feat, really impressive feat. Thank you for the fist bumps, boys. All the boys giving me fist bumps, making me feel loved. Thank you.
Everyone's giving me fist bumps. I told them that everyone keeps walking past avoiding me. I'm like,
Thanks, fellas. Alright, Mr. Potts, 140. This will be a comp PB for him. And everything's been very sub-max, so his bench press has come along a lot. So he'll be really pumped to knock this one over and hopefully a third as well. Very fast there for Mr. Potts. And a 2 kilo comp PB there. Easy as you like. What do we think? RP 6 in the chat? 7 maybe? 6.5? I've got Aiden here. Aiden, what was the RPE of that one?
RPE, my back hurts.
Okay, you heard it here first. RPE, back cramp. And Mr. Zingini, RPE piece, I agree. Mr. Zingini with a 7.5 kilo jump, 147.5, approaching his best competition bench press. Like I said, after a big squat, we tend to see lifters struggle a little bit for the rest of the day if they squat like a huge grind like Joey did. So hopefully he can fight that off and still nail the rest of his attempts for the day. He's got 5 more to go. Nice smooth through the middle there from Joey. A little bit wonky down the right side, but there are no pictures on the scorecard. 3 white lights and lock in another 7.5 on Joey's total. Okay, we've got Mags saying Potsy to bring the beard back. I agree, you look like a sub-junior, you look like a child. Up next is James Lee with 160. He is putting on a show today. And he's looking to add another 7.5 to that subtotal. Very nice bench pressing. Really, really soft touch on the chest there. Great control. 3 white lights. And back up to the start of the third round. We've got Francis taking a 5 kilo jump for his third at 120. Francis had a great day so far, making his third squat and both benches thus far. See if he can knock over 6 for 6 into deadlifts. And unfortunately didn't have quite have the strength there. come back and get that next time. Patrick Congester up next with a 2.5 kilo jump from 122.5 to 125. Nice conservative jump. Like I said earlier, it's always better to make a smaller jump or a more conservative attempt than it is to miss a more aggressive one, unless of course we're vying for a medal or a placing. Great bench pressing there from Pat. Really, really soft touching on the chest. Always in control of that one. Next is Tish. Another 5 kilo jump. Even fives from first to second here and second to third. And looking to go 6 for 6 before we start deadlifts. Certainly figured out how to lock those elbows by this attempt. And another smooth attempt there for Tish. Plenty more in the tank today on both squat and bench. I believe he'll be saving it for state championships too. Just putting up a nice total, getting some more platform experience, getting his feet wet in the APU. Up next, Simon 135, a 7.5 kilo jump from his second to third here. And the bar's loaded for Simon. Now, I mentioned this during squats. Simon is a huge deadlifter, so keep an eye out for some 300 kilo plus deadlifts incoming. And a nice fight through the middle there from Simon, and it is 3 white lights. Knocking over all 3 bench presses after just the 1 squat. The strength was there on the squat. Just needs a little bit more stability and a little bit more convincing depth, and he'll be someone to really look out for in the coming years. Really, really strong potential in him. Up next, Chich 140, even 5 kilo jumps again for Chich. And approaching double bodyweight bench, which is massive. And proving once again that real men do wear pink. Nice and smooth through the middle there. And you'll notice with bench presses who use a huge arch and the maximal grip, oftentimes a 5 kilo jump can go from looking really, really easy to then being, quite difficult like that one was. So it can be more difficult to choose attempts for those kind of lifters when it seems like everything they do is really, really easy up until a point where they drop off a lot. So Chich obviously knew that, and he picked the right attempt there. 140 in the bag. Up next, Adam Hussein, 140 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump from his second. Good effort there from Adam through the middle. Just bit off a little bit more than he could chew on that one. But a great effort, and he'll come back for that 140 milestone lift in no time. Up next, Mr. Aiden puts 145. Looking to add another 5 kilos to his total here. He's barely broken a sweat, but he does have back cramps, so hopefully his back can hold up for this one. And the bar's loaded for him. So something I should have mentioned earlier is that the center spotter can give handouts, or you can opt to hand out them by yourself. So the lifters who are experienced will go and explain to the center lift off person how they like their handout, because people can be pretty particular about it. And if you do get a bad handoff, it really can throw you off. So Pot's obviously explaining nice detailed instructions to our center handoff person, so they can maximise how many kilos they can lift today. Good benching there from Potts. Nice routine weekly at 8 single there from Potts on his third attempt. Super easy. Pottsy, what do you think about that one, mate?
I think I roll myself out. Get ready for some deadlifts.
How's your grip feeling?
Oh, we'll see, mate. Oh yeah, we'll see. The bars will be different to HPC, but hopefully we can adapt out the back in the warm-ups.
Do you want to say anything to the people watching back home?
What have they been saying to me? Oh, anything.
Mostly just overwhelming support.
Oh, lovely. Oh, well, thank you everyone for the support back home. Hey Elise, hey John in the kitchen or living room, wherever you're watching from.
Good boy, Ed.
Love you guys.
This is Zingini 5 kilo jump. It's gone to 152.5, and he's really fought through that one. Another big grind for Joey Zingini. He's not going to leave a single kilo on the platform today, taking his subtotal to 400 kilos. Joe, you want to say anything to the people?
I love you all.
You have been getting a lot of support on the chat. You know your subtotal is 400 kilos. Is that a PB subtotal?
I actually don't know. I don't even know how to powerlift.
Okay, you heard it here first. He doesn't know what he's doing. Thanks, Joey. Up next, James Lee with 165. $165 for James Lee. Had a great day thus far. He's 5 for 5. Looking to add another 5 kilos. Great control there from James. 165. See what the reps say. 3 white lights. 6 for 6. And moving forward. 267.5 squat and a 165 bench. If my maths is correct, which it might not be, that is 432.5. Which is a really nice subtotal for an 83 kilo lifter. So he's in a good spot, and he'll be a real challenger at APU state champs. So moving on to Group A, the 93 kilo and above boys. Zach, I don't know everyone, so I don't know if they would all appreciate me interviewing them all, but I will for the people that I know. I think during deadlifts it'll be a bit harder, everyone gets a bit more psyched. So this is Lawrence with 112.5 to open his bench press account. Very easy there from Lawrence, 112 on the board. Bars loaded for Brendan. 115 kilos. Far, I almost said 215. That would have been much more impressive. Good lifting there from Brendan. 3 white lights. So you'll notice as we see more and more lifters that there are more and more styles of bench press and all lifts for that matter. People are just trying to find a technique that works the best for them so they can lift the most weight they can. That's going to come down to many things. Where they're strong in their body, how they're built, where they like to position themselves, etc., where they're comfortable. So you'll see that there are, different grips for bench, different arches, different feet positions, different degrees of elbow tuck, and all of these things are really experimented by the lifters, I guess, in order to find what works best for them. Because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be trying to lift like everyone else. We should be trying to lift the best that we can. Another Team T lifter here, Kevin. 125 bench opener. Nice and easy, comfortable 125. It's 3 white lights, say the referee. Also with Team T is Taiwan, 125 kilos. So you see Ty giving detailed instructions to the center spotter, trying to get the best handout he can. It's all about maximizing, optimizing the environment around you so you can succeed. And whether that's your technique, your setup, or simply getting a good hand up, giving good handout instructions, it all makes a big difference. So he's been asked to replace the bar there for having bent elbows. So as I mentioned earlier, elbows must be locked before receiving that start command. Still got 20 seconds on the clock, so plenty of time. And easy as that, 125, he's on the board. It can take some mental strength to overcome that and have to change your setup on the platform, but if you are able to do it, generally it shows a lot of mental resilience from the lifters. Matt Cunningham, 132.5 opener. He's quarter 215 for a 7 kilo PB, and he'll be looking for a big bench press PB. I know that his bench training has been going great. He's passed the 140 barrier in training a few times now, which was a big milestone for any lifter. Very, very methodical setup. Come on, MRC, here we go. Excellent looking opening bench press there from Matt Cunningham. 3 white lights, 132.5. Great benching. Guys, can we please stop fighting in the chat? Can we just all be friends? Yeah, it was good. Next up is Michael Rand, 140. Now, Michael is just obliterating lightweights today. And quite frankly, it's boring, isn't it? I want to see him try. Very easy as expected from Mr. Rand. Believe his best bench is in the 180s, 170s. What's your best ever bench? 195 is his best bench in comp, and he's just doing 140. So he asked me, was that boring, and I obviously said yes. Come on, Rand. Up next, Lucas, 145 bench opener. Really stuck that bar nice and still very quickly. Able to get a quick press command. It's good benching there from Lucas, 145. Really good start. Up next is 93 kilo APU New South Wales 2021 state champion. That is a mouthful and a half. Jesse with a 155 bench opener. Expect this to be real quick. Very fast opening there for Jesse. 155 is on the board, taking his subtotal to 395 with 2 benches to come. And Jesse just gave me a fist bump, so now I feel more included. Jesse's getting a lot of love in the chat. Now he's smiling at me. Do you want to say something to the people, Jesse?
Hello, friends and family.
Do you want to say thank you for the support?
Thank you for the support.
He's pretty shy. Nick with 162 opener, nice and smooth. Josh Horton opening up his bench account with 175. He has benched 200 in training, but like I said earlier, he is kind of sandbagging this one just to qualify for states, so probably won't see that big of a number, but we will still see some impressive benching here from Josh. I'll ask him about the toothpaste next time, Cody. So Josh has giant arms, which means he can get away with benching with a bit of a narrower grip to really maximise the size of his arms, the strength he has in his arms. So he's just being asked to replace the bar there because of his elbows not being locked, and I think that could actually be a little bit because of how big his arms are, like I just said. So that was a bit better. And you can see he's really trying to use his shoulders and triceps as much as he can, as opposed to the pecs, and as opposed to just using leverage instead of just using muscle mass. And there's good benching there from Josh. So back to the start of the group. Brendan Chand with 120, taking a 5 kilo jump from his opener. Show me interview. I just asked Josh if you want an interview. He's a bit too shy as well. Too many shy boys lifting today. Brendan Chan, 120, 5 kilo jump. Strong benching again there from Brendan. Takes him to 5 out of 5 from today. Really mature lifting from an 18-year-old. It's good stuff. Next up, Lawrence, 120. Quite a few people cheering for Brendan, which is awesome. Nice, really light touch there from Lawrence. Like I said earlier, if you can touch the chest nice and light and nice and tight, we'll get a very quick call from the referee. It's good benching there. Really using the rules to your advantage there. Once the bar is motionless, the referee is supposed to give you a call. So if you can get it motionless as quick as you can, you're going to benefit from it. Up next, Kevin, 132.5, Team T, hashtag Team T. Nice smooth there through the middle and smooth through the lockout for Kevin. 3 white lights. Same weight for Ty with 132.5. 7.5 kilo jump for both of those boys. Great bench press technique there from Ty. A little bit sticky towards the top, but 3 white lights nonetheless. 5 out of 5 for Ty. Maddie Cunningham, 7.5 kilo jump. Big milestone of 140. 3 blue plates in the commercial gym. So it's a milestone that everyone wants to achieve in their life on the bench press. Great benching there from Matt. 140 moving very smoothly through the middle there. Michael ran 150. Let's pause for a little bit extra just to show off here. Really disrespecting the weights Michael ran this day. I'm here with Aiden Potts again. People asked for another interview with you.
Oh, really?
So I'm just going to make up some questions.
So you're right, mate, go for it.
Mate, what are you opening with on Deadlifts today?
250 kilos, so it should be pretty conservative, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, sorry, 250 kilos. Should be pretty easy, but we'll see how it goes.
So what's the purpose of today's comp?
Purely just to qualify for states and have a bit of fun. Got some good blokes out there back in both sessions in both groups, so it's been a good time today so far.
Very good, Potsy.
Yeah, it's like a special shout out to Zach Torrevillas. Hope you're hitting your macros in ISO, mate. There'll be no Uber Eats and none of that, alright?
Does he have the COVID?
Maybe. I don't want to publicise that.
Sending prayers. Here's Lucas, 152.5. He's punched through the middle very nicely there. 7.5 kilo jump, successful. Up next, Jesse. What am I? 7.5 kilo jump for Jesse. 162.5. First one was really good. Expecting much the same. Very consistent lifter. Good across all three lifts, which is important for building big total. Can't have a lift that's laggy like me. Got to be consistent across. Unfortunately, maybe a bit of a misgroove there. I'm a little surprised he missed that one. Maybe he can come back and hit that one third. Sam, what happened there on Jesse's bench?
Not too sure, to be honest. Second attempt. First attempt, apparently there's something wrong with the handout. Then he corrected it on the second attempt, but we'll see how we go on the third. Repeat that load.
Was it a simple misgroove or strength issue?
I'd have to go back and ask him, but maybe a misgroove off the chest, but we'll see.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Alex.
Up next, Nick with 172.5. 10 kilo jump. He's been lifting well. A bit sticky through the middle there, but never in doubt. 3 white lights there, another 10 kilos on the total. It's good lifting from Nick, and I think he's cramped his back as well. Up next, Josh Horton, 7.5 kilo jump from 175 to 182.5. Made mincemeat of the first one. Josh able to get a star command a bit earlier on that one, fixing the problem he had on the first one of not having those elbows locked, and absolutely smoked that 182.5. So expect to see about 190 on the last one. It's good lifting. And starting off the third round of bench press, so the last 10 benches for today. All these lifters are going to need your support in the chat, so give the boys your support. they'll go back and watch this later, and if they know that you're watching and you weren't gassing them up, they might doubt you as friends. So get around your boys. Brendan here, 125. He's had a lot of support today. He's been lifting really well. He's 5 out of 5 for today. Young Brendan probably does still have to go to school tomorrow. Smooth through the lockout there for Brendan. Through at lights, and he's 6 for 6. 18 years old, executing like a veteran out there. And Lawrence a 5 kilo jump to 125 on the third here. He's also had a great day of lifting thus far. He's 4 out of 5, having only missed his third squat on depth, which is very, very marginal. So looking to make up for that squat miss here on the bench. Great looking bench there. 3 white lights.
You alright? Oh yeah, I'm fine. That cramp? It's just pain. That cramp? Yeah. No.
Up next, Taiwan. 135. 2.5 kilos up from his second, which was quite sticky towards the top. If he grooves this one correctly, he should knock it over, which would make him 6 for 6 for the day. Really have seen a high level of execution across the board from everyone today. It's been nice to see. We do have a lot of experienced lifters competing today, so I guess it's not really much of a surprise. And he has grooved that one much better than the second and actually moved faster, and he probably had another 5 kilos in the end. So there you go. You can only play the day of what's in front of you. Have to react to the previous attempt, and he's very happy with that one. But probably wanted a bit more after that. Maybe he'll go and do 140 out the back. Up next is Kevin, 137.5. Team T. Thank you, Zachary. Appreciate it. Unfortunately, just a couple of kilos too heavy on that one, and he will only get credit for his second at 132.5. So maybe 135 was the right call there, but we'll never know. Matt Cunningham next, taking 5 kilo jump from 140 to 145. This is quite a sizable competition bench PR for Matt, on top of a nice squat PR, building himself a nice day, really executing well. He's still pretty new to the sport, Matt, but he's making good progress. Very engaged in the process. Brendan is still 17. I'm just going off what the score sheet says, which is 18. Maybe it means he turns 18 this year. My apologies for that. Great looking bench there for Matt. 145. 3 white lights. He's 6 for 6. And moving forward, Matt, would you like to comment on Matt Cunningham's bench just then?
Lovely tech, very smooth. Couldn't be happier. What a stud.
And what are we looking for on his deadlifts?
Hoping to get into the 270 or 275 range, see how he's feeling. He looks strong. See how we go.
Thanks, coach. Up next, Lucas, 5 kilo jump from his 152.5 second attempt. Nice fight through the middle there from Lucas. Great attempt selection, and it's 2 white lights. I think his bum may have come off the bench on that one. Yeah, so the right referee Lynn has just confirmed that his bum did come off the bench. So the hips and the feet must stay still and flat and in contact throughout the whole lift. Up next, Mr. Sandbag, Michael Rand, 160. Still yet to sweat. Not much to say about that, really. It'll be good to watch when he actually tries, it states. Jesse retaking the 162.5 second attempt that he missed. We'll see what went wrong, whether it was a misgroove or whether it's just a little bit too heavy. We'll find out in about 15 seconds. Jesse's got homies in the chat cheering for him. Come on, Jesse, you can do it for the boys. And it turns out it was just a misgroove. Retake the weight. Excellent lifting there from Jesse. Good stuff.
So post third attempt interview, so it was the handout. Thanks.
So Tian says that Jesse just got a better handout on that third one and was able to hold the bar in the right place. And I was saying earlier how it's really important to communicate with the person giving you the handout to ensure that you get the bar the way that you like it. And it can make a huge difference like that if you go from missing by not even really that close that miss was, and then that third attempt was actually quite easy.
Get him over here.
Jesse, the people are asking what toothpaste you use.
What the hell? I use Colgate White.
Colgate White, you heard it here first. Josh Horton, 190. And nice and smooth through the middle there for Josh. 3 white lights, and he is also 6 for 6 going into deadlifts. So we're going to have another 10-minute break before deadlifts, and I will chat to you all in 10 minutes.
What's the second one? I told you to tell him to communicate properly.
Yeah. I think I might have set up chick post under the bar as well. Oh, this is fun, man.
They're loving it, bro. They're loving it. They're like, Alex is gonna ask me questions. They're like, Alex is gonna get the band. You mentioned a different bed. What the hell? They're loving it, but they're loving it. You're getting screenshots coming. Oh, Alex is doing good commentating. The boys.
Okay, you're again.
I mentioned that I kept trying to give people fist bumps as they walked past. Yeah. And I was in the chat, I was like, the boys in the chat give me fist bumps, everyone's leaving me hanging here. And fucking like 10 people fucking fist bumps. So good.
We'll be right back after an 8-minute intermission. But in the meantime, can I get a whole yeah in the chat, please? Some great interaction in the chat right now. We just got 7 minutes left until we start off the deadlifts. Yeah, just a little bit of halftime entertainment for you folks at home. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. And if you have the time, please give another hoya in the chat. Definitely appreciate that. I see all them hoyas in the chat right now. Definitely appreciate that and keep that up.
Where are you eating afterwards? Chat's been pumping the whole time. So I've been doing lifter interviews, coach interviews and shit. So it's-
With the baby. Do you see the sporting chat where Hussein worked out and it's got it there?
I did see that saying you were hard. Yeah. That's funny. 5 minutes until deadlift start. Make sure everyone's in the chat getting pumped because this is going to be a fun deadlift session. Got some big lifters incoming.
popping off. Tim, give us a...
Oh yeah.
Chat's pumping.
I've never seen this much chat on the live stream before.
He's just talking shit. He just wants me to say his name. He just wants me to say his name. Which I have a few times.
Is that what we ordered? We ordered from the chat, yeah.
We'll be starting in 40 seconds, and the first lifter is Francis Yang. We're just waiting on the referees to get back into their seats. Here they come.
I'm not doing it. No, I'm having a baby soon. So I need to sleep. Be a dad. Huh? 2 months. Over 5th.
Alright, and here comes Francis Yang.
I don't like Star Wars, so.
Alright, we're just waiting on one referee. And here we go. I agree, Zach. The referees have done a pretty good job today. It's always nice when they uphold the standard, keep everyone lifting to the rule book. And the bar is loaded for Francis Yang. And here he comes. 165 on the board. So we'll take his total to 462.5. Very easy looking opener, using a wide sumo stance. So you will see two different types of stances here on the deadlift. We've got the conventional where the hands are outside the legs, very clearly the superior stance, and the sumo where the legs are outside the hands, obviously the inferior stance. And obviously I'm just joking. Lifters who have stronger legs, generally better hip mobility, tend to do better in the sumo. And lifters with stronger backs and maybe less positive hip mobility seem to do better with the conventional. Like I was saying earlier, it's all about finding the technique that works for you. Good job from there with 195. You will often see that the sumo is actually a little bit short of a range of motion given the legs are spread. Seems to most sumo lifters seem to struggle off the floor more than they do at lockout, and the inverse is true with the conventional. We do see more lifters struggle at lockout than they do with the conventional. Up next is Chich, 215. Let's take his total to 575. Just 25 kilos away from 600. And you'll also see outside of the sumo and the conventional stances, you will see two styles of grip. One is what Chich just used there, which is the hook grip, double overhand hook grip, where the middle finger and index finger wrap around the thumb and the bar is secure in the thumb. And the other grip is the over-under mixed grip, where one hand is facing in a different direction, one hand is underhand and one hand is overhanded. Both are viable options. If you do pull hook grip, you will need to take care of your thumbs. And you will need to develop a bit of a pain threshold, as it is quite painful, particularly when you start out. Tish opening with 220. Expect this to fly. Very easy work there from Tish. 3 wide lights. Chich is another one of those shy boys. I can't get an interview with him. If I do, he'll give me like 3-word answers. $240 from Adam Hussein. Very easy looking 240 there from Adam. Expect to see a nice big jump. Up next, James Lee, 242.5. He's had a massive day on the platform. This will take his total to 675 with plenty of room in the tank. Just a junior with this year and next year left in the junior class, so he'll be one to look for over the next 24 months. 242.5 for James, looking to open up his deadlift account. James really does take his time out there. He soaks in every moment on the platform. And notice lifters have different mindsets around how they approach the bar. Some people like to take their time, like James does. Others like to run straight out there and pick up the bar and not waste any time. So it really does, again, come down to individuality. People do better with different approaches. So you may as well, if you are a lifter, try out different approaches. See what works for you. Up next, Aiden Potts, 250. His best deadlift is 305. So he's taking it very easy today. Won't see any fireworks. He's just looking to qualify for states. But I will get him on the interview as soon as he's done this. Aiden just making sure the bar is centered and straight for him in a position that he's happy with. Does have the longest arms I've ever seen. Yeah, they look pretty hard. Hey mate, what do you reckon?
What I reckon? Is that what you said? Oh, was it alright? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I really didn't mean to swear then. It was pretty good, yeah. Taking 265 for the next one, maybe 280, but we'll just see how it feels. I'm not too sure yet.
How's the thumbs holding up?
Yeah, good. I actually was biting my callus. I know it's disgusting, but I tore a bit of it off earlier in the week, but it seems to be holding up okay. The smooth bars are actually doing me a good thing today at the moment.
A few people have said that you've got the longest arms they've ever seen. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, look, I think all I can do is just thank my mum, thank my dad for the genes, and hopefully I can bench a bit more this year. We'll see.
Thanks Aiden.
You're welcome, mate.
Here's Joey with 255 to open up the account. His subtotal is exactly 400, so this will take him to 655. Quick maths. Very comfortable looking opener there for Joey, 3 white lights. His best total is 670, so he should be surpassing that with the total PR today. A few people are asking Potts to send it. Now I would love to see that too. Just a little bit of cowardice on his behalf. If you've got his phone number, send Pottsy a text and tell him to put a little bit more weight on the bar. Simon with an absolutely lightning 275 opener. And it is 2 white lights. I'm not sure what the red was for. I will find out. I think for not locking his shoulders back. So we'll have to be careful with that on the next 2. But it did look very fast. Kazi, what's up, Kazi? And back to the start of the group, round 2. Francis, second attempt at 175. Francis had a great day thus far. 7 for 7, looking to make that 8 for 8. Really good lifting again there from Francis. 3 white lights. Don't think we've seen a red light yet, and done a really great job. Next, Pat Congester, 21 years old, 83 kilo class, second attempt here at 212.5. Believe he did 195 in the first, so a nice 17.5 kilo jump here. So we'll take his total to 545. Nice fight through the middle there from Pat. It's good lifting, it's 3 white lights. He's added a nice 17.5 to his total. Loaded for Chich, 225. It's had a great day so far. Good lifting there from Chich. 3 white lights. Try and get Chich for an interview now, guys. So I've got Chich here. The people want to hear from him.
Yeah.
Mate, what's the plans for what are you doing this meet? Are you doing states?
Yeah, I'm definitely doing states. Just taking it very chill right now, and we'll come back and go guns blitzing in May.
Excellent. Thanks, mate. And here's Tish with his second attempt, 240. Lovely lifting there from Tish. Been flawless all day. 8 for 8. Another nice easy lift there. Up next, James Lee. Been unflappable all day. This will take him to 692.5. Very big total for a junior 83 kilo lifter. 692.5 with another lift to come, provided he makes this one. Another smooth attempt there from James, and another 3 white lights. That takes his total to 692.5 with one lift to come. Should be looking to go over 700 on the final deadlift. Next up, Adam Hussein, 20 kilo jump from 240 to 260. Take him above 600 kilos for the first time in competition for him. So this will take him to 607. And easy as you like. Nice looking deadlift there from Adam. Be right, lads. And puts up next, looking to take his total from 615 to 630. Like I have said earlier, he is taking it very easy today, and he is just doing enough to qualify for states. So his best total is 705, which he will look to beat at state championships. So yeah, just taking it easy today. 265. This will be lightning, just like the rest of his attempts have been today. Here he is, Mr. Potts, Mr. Hunter. Longest arm in the world. Big quads. Very, very well built to deadlift. He does pull well into the 300s. It's no surprise when you look at him. Very, very, very easy lifting from Potty. Absolutely no issues. And he is going to go with 280, which is interesting.
Say 300.
Do it. Do it. Up next, Mr. Zingini, Mr. Zucchini, Mr. Linguini. 270 to equal his competition total PR. Still 15 below his deadlift PR. I just spoke to him at the back. He did say he was looking to tie his deadlift PR, which is 285. So we'll see how this goes, and maybe he can take that 15 kilos to put 15 on the total and equal the deadlift PR. Here he is, bars loaded. Because he did hit 300, but they were trolling. It's 280, guys. Nice looking deadlift there from Joey. 270, 670 on the total, equaling his best ever, which is really good lifting there from Joe. Up next, you guys asked for 300, and you're asking for it from the wrong bloke, because Simon's here, second attempt, 305. Absolutely smoked his opener at 275, so here we go. Joey, can you get me some water, please? Thanks, sir. Bar is loaded for Simon. 305. Huge deadlift here. Moved nicely. See what the reps say, and they like it. 305. Absolutely lock that in. Well done, mate. Back to the start of the group. Francis Yang, 180 kilos, 5 kilo jump. Sorry, it's 185 here. 3 reds and a white.
bar is just getting cleaned. Customary. Okay. Just curious. Just curious. Huh? And the bar is loaded for Francis, 185. Looking to go 9 for 9. Finish with a total of, I can't read that from here, 472.5. Great lifting again from Francis. 3 white lights, 9 for 9. Great lifting. Next up, Congester, 217.5. Pat's getting real psyched up. Very pumped for this one. So hype is something as well, again, following that theme of individualization. You have to try things that work for you. And, you know, you might be someone who likes to lift calm, you might be someone who likes to lift extra hype, or anywhere in between. Great effort there from Pat. Gave that 100%. Can't fault his effort today. He lifted well. Probably could fix up some issues with the temp selection over his next few meets, but I presume given his age, he's just getting started. Up next is Chich, 235. Final deadlift of the day. He's 8 for 8. He's looking to go 9 for 9 here. Finished off a really good day. Nice and smooth through the middle there. Really good lifting there from Chich. 9 for 9, 27 for 27 white lights. And great lifting. Well done, mate. Up next, Tish with 255. Tish here with 255 to finish off his day. Much like a lot of lifters today, have had really conservative days, lifting well within themselves. And that's another example of that from Tish. Just great lifting, 255. Says thank you to all the referees. Up next, James Lee with 267.5. round total of 700 kilos, which is a huge milestone for any lifter. And as a junior 83 as well, it's a really impressive feat. So 4 lifters to come in this group. We have Adam with 275, Joey 277.5, Aiden Potts 280, and Simon at 310. Then we have one last group of deadlifts, and then we're done. So here comes James, 267.5. 700 kilos on the line here. I back him in. He's had a great day thus far. Turning 22 years old this year. Huge potential. Oh boy. Unfortunately, just a little bit too heavy there. So he'll finish with 692.5. Great lifting from James today. 8 for 9, 692.5, 83 junior. Very impressive. He'll be back for that 700 next time, no doubt. Next up, Adam Hussein, 275 kilos, 5 big red competition plates with collars. What do you got to say? Power's low for Adam. Here he comes. 275 kilos. Coach Matt is very stoked. That's great lifting from Adam. 9 for 9 today. Huge total PB. Really good stuff. Up next, Mr. Joe Zingini. 7.5 kilo jump from his second attempt. This will give him a 7.5 kilo total PB. Just a little bit down on his best deadlift. But generally speaking, when you do go up a weight class, deadlift is the one that tends to take a little bit of time before it can grow with the new weight class. So although Joe may not hit deadlift PB, a total PB is, that's the number that we really want. It's moving, and he's done a great job there, Mr. Zingini. 3 wide lights, 677.5 at his first meet as an 83 kilo lifter. I'm sure we'll be seeing over 700 very soon. Going live to Joe Zingini now. Joey, how are you feeling, mate?
Pumped. Hello. There was a 10 kilo total PB.
10? I thought it was 7.5. Yeah, I was just telling everyone that it was 7.5.
I was going to go 280, but...
So how do you feel?
Good. Ready to go again.
Excellent. So States is the next one?
Yes.
Will we see 700 kilos?
I'll be happy with another 10 on top of that. Maybe 700 at Nationals, that'd be good.
You heard it here first, everyone. 700 at Nationals. He promised it. Joe promised it to all of you. Mr. Potts up next. 280. This will be equally as easy as the last two. Much like Michael ran, Mr. Potts is just taking the piss. Very, very easy again there from Mr. Potts. It was almost so fast he almost lost balance. Pretty good stuff there. Potts, how you feeling?
Oh shit. No, I feel really good. Not for 9 day, just like my brother Joey Zingini. But no, I'm pretty happy with the performance. Looking forward to state championships in early May.
What's the goal for the total at States, mate?
Oh mate, similar to today, just qualifying for nationals, getting the appropriate lifts that I need just to move on to nationals this year. So
what are the goals for nationals then?
oh mate, I'll lay off the imagination, but we've got something big coming.
You heard it here first, something big is coming. Good lifting, mate, well done. Up next, final deadlift of the group, before we go to Group A. Simon with 310. He just pulled 305 on his last one. Looked like he had a little bit left, so I think this is a good call. That one moved even better than the last one. I think he just balanced himself even better over that. 310, that's awesome. Great lifting from Simon. And moving on to Group A deadlifts. We've got 10 lads left to lift for the day. And we'll be out of here. So first up, Josh Horton, 200 kilos. Now similar to a lot of the other boys, he's just qualifying for state championships today, so keeping it pretty easy. Allowing himself, an easy enough day that he can recover and still train really effectively next week. And that's a huge thing with doing these lower priority comps, is you don't want to go all out because it requires, a lot of training to put you in a position where you can be at your best. Also, it takes away from the subsequent weeks. It takes a lot of recovery if you do a hard competition. So it's smart to sandbag. I know I was giving Rand a hard time, but it is actually smart to sandbag so you can go back to training and training hard. And here we go, Group A is underway. Josh Horton, 200 kilos. I believe he's pulled about 275 before, so like I mentioned, taking it easy today. That one didn't even register on the RPE scale. Good lifting from Josh. Up next is Nick with 205. Now, he had quite a major back cramp after his second bench, so he didn't come out for a third bench. So we'll see if that affects him on the deadlifts here. I've seen that happen to a lot of people where, something does happen to them in their first 6 lifts and then they can't deadlift to their full capacity, or maybe they have to do tokens, but it looks like he's okay here, so we'll see how he goes. For Nick. Slow and steady wins the race. Nice and smooth through the middle, 3 white lights. He shakes his head as he walks off the platform. I'm not sure whether that's back related or anything else. I'll actually ask him. think he might be calling it a day after that one. Yeah, I think he's going to call it a day after that one. So unfortunately, a bit of back stiffness after bench press, but you know, it's a good meet for that to happen because he's already qualified for states, so he can just move on. Up next is Lucas, 215. Nice looking sumo deadlift there from Lucas. Very white light, 215 on the board. Up next, Mr. Sandbag Rand himself. 220. I believe his best deadlift is 331. So 220 is, you know, 65-66%. So expect this to move with ease. I reckon he could do 20 reps here. Again, that one didn't register. He still is yet to sweat. 7 for 7. Honestly, I think that Rand could barbell row that. $225 loaded up for Brendan Chand. 17 years old. It's good lifting. Through our lights. Up next, Kevin, Team T, 227 or 500 pounds in the old language, 500 freedom units. Another great lift there from Kevin. He's had a really good day today so far. 6 out of 7 lifts. And Taiwan, same weight, 227.5. Also with Team T. Really good lifting from Ty, 7 for 7 moving forward. 227 on the board. Taking his total to 565. Probably looking in the high 500s, maybe even he might get that 600 kilo total today. Up next, Maddie Cunningham, 240. Had a full day so far. 600 even after this one, so looking to break well into the 600s today. know for sure his last competition it was exactly 600, so this will give him an equal competition PB on his opening deadlift. Real testament to his progress, his recent progress. Great looking opener there from Maddie. You can see some big jumps here. Up next is Lawrence, 250 opener. It's another lifter who's gone about his business today. Just walking in, nice and composed, making lifts. Lawrence. Take his total to 607.5. Referee say 3 weight loads. Good lifting from Lawrence. And to round out the group here, the last lifter of the group, Jesse with 260. All of Jesse's boys still in the chat. Where are they? Where are you boys? Haven't heard from you in a while. Are you still here? Comes Jesse, 260. So take his total to 662.5. Hashtag Team Colgate. Opening deadlift here. Nice looking opener there from Jesse. 3 white lights, say the referees. And that gives him a total of 662.5 with 2 lifts to come. Up next, Josh Horton. Back to the top of the group. 20 kilo jump. He's moving up to 220. He's taking it very easy like a few of our lifters are today. Just doing enough to qualify. Get right back into training next week. Team Colgate, look at those teeth. Zach, I'll have to ask him next time he comes back what food you have to eat to be as cool as Jesse. It's a good question. I think people need to know the answer. Bars loaded for Josh. 220. Let's take his total to 620. Easy looking second attempt there. Up next is Lucas with 230. Nice looking opener at 215. Looking to add to his account. Great day so far. Looking to go 8 for 8 after this lift. Another good looking sumo there from Lucas. 3 lights. Next up, Taiwan, 237.5. Team T taking over the chat with the keys. Good lifting again from Ty. He's had a really nice day. It's 8 for 8, 1 lift to come. Up next, Brendan, 17 years old, 240 kilos. Here he comes. Goes by Beth Parker of Output. Another one up, another one down. Brendan is 8 for 8. Looking really good. And he's going to go for 250, which is fucking massive at 17 years old. Apologies for swearing. Silver, 240. Having another guy's having a really great day. Just missed the one lift. No mistake there. One lift to come. Hoping to finish his day on a high. Another 240. This time Michael, sandbag rand. Mr. Rand, disrespecting weights for a few hours now. And he continues to do so. Did you check to see if that was actually the right way, because it was so easy? He still has not sweat. Up next, Matt Cunningham, 20 kilo jump from 240 to 260. So boring, Rand. Comes Matt Cunningham. Maddie Cunningham, 20 kilo jump. This will give him a 20 kilo total PB. be with one lift to come. It's very impressive. Lifting well. Very good. Very good stuff from Maddie. Hopefully we see 275 on the bar here. I'd love to see that for him. And Coach Matt Bartholomew has selected 275 for the third attempt for Cunningham. It's good stuff. $262.5 for Lawrence. 12.5 kilo jump from his opener, which was easy work. So take his total to 620. Pretty easy 620 to be honest. Another very comfortable lift from Lawrence. Moving through his weights quite well. I presume he's just going through the motions to qualify for states like a lot of the lifters we have here today. Up next, Jesse. 15 kilo jump, 260 to 275. So take his total to 677.5. Which is approaching his best total. I believe it's 687.5. Good looking 275 there from Jesse. It's good stuff. Through our lights. And back up to the start of the group for round 3. We've got 10 deadlifts to go for the day. Everyone in the chat, get around the boys. So at the start of each round, just got to clean the bar as per the COVID guidelines of APU. So the bar gets a nice scrub, then rub down, then another scrub, then another rub down, then another scrub. No happy ending for the barbell though. I think we all would, Cody. I think we all would. And here comes Josh, 240 kilos, another 20 kilo jump. Good lifting from Josh, 3 white lights. And a 9 for 9 day. Very easy 9 for 9 day. Up next, Lucas, 245. Another 15 kilo jump. This should test him. Lucas, 245. Smooth lockout. Hasn't missed a step today, Lucas. 9 for 9. Really, really good day of lifting. Coach Potts is happy. Shake the referee's hands. Just a reminder that the referees are volunteers, so always thank the referees. They're giving their time on a Sunday to help grow our sport, help us out. So make sure you always thank them. So as per IPF rules, the pie does get brushed between every attempt in the third round and at the start of each round. Bars loaded for Brendan, 250, just 17 years old, deadlifting 250, that's extremely impressive. Get around him. Coach Beth trying to rev him up. Up it goes, down it goes, straight red lights. 250 kilos for Brendan, that's amazing lifting for a 17-year-old. Bright future in our sport. He's one to look for.
Can't hear you, dude. The last attempt, before the bar's loaded. Right up until when the bar's loaded. But it can't be less than what the previous one was. Yeah, bar can't go down.
250 here for Kevin. Started today strong and he's finished it even stronger. Really, really good lifting from Kevin. He's pumped. Sheesh. Up next, Taiwan, 252.5. Looking to finish off his day at 9 for 9 as well. Great lifting from Ty, 252.5. Strong finish. Good coaching, good lifting. Michael Rand coming to do his 10 RM for his third attempt. Yeah, Michael, I think the mic audio has been pretty funky the whole day. Not sure why, but it just is. I think there's too much background noise. So every time the plates are loaded and the clamoring going on, it kind of like cuts out a little bit. Don't know if there's much we can do about it other than like if we were to get a soundproof room, which obviously we're not going to do, but Michael Rand, 260. I think you'll probably deadlift this for 6 reps this week. Maybe 8 reps.
Come on, Michael!
Okay, maybe 10 reps.
What's the point? It's not. Because a 105 doing what he did today. A 105 doing what he did today. 660. Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, a lot of people today just taking the piss. $100.
Matt Cunningham, 635 total if he gets this one, which will be a 35 kilo total PB. Massive total PB. Big deadlift PR. He hit a nice squat PR, nice bench PR. Looking to finish off a 9 for 9 day here. Let's get around him.
Let's go, Maddie!
Let's get around him. He's pumped. Here he goes. Here he comes. Been working very hard for this. It just looked like he lost grip in his right hand there, unfortunately, and wasn't able to lock out because of it. That was an immense effort. Made a lot of progress, so hopefully he can cap in on that, capitalise on it on the next meet.
Who gives a shit? Get better at grip.
Oh, mate. I was looking out for it.
Lawrence stepping up to 80. 17.5 jump on his second. I don't know a lot about Lawrence, so I don't know whether this is a PB or not. I'm sure I'll be seeing a lot more of him. He's a really good lifter. Here he comes, 280. Let's get around him.
Lawrence.
Oh, he's done very well with that. Smooth from start to finish there from Lawrence. Really, really good lifting. Seems like the nicest guy in the world.
It does.
We have 2 deadlifts to come. We've got Jesse with... Oh, we've just got the one. Just got the one to come. Jesse, 285. 285, the magic number. So we'll give him 687.5 kilo total. Just getting a kind word from his coaches out the back and a few little slaps on the back before he comes out. Some smelling salts right up the nose. Bar is loaded and here he comes. Team Colgate finishing off today. He's barely put a foot wrong, just a little misgroove on the bench, second bench press, which he came back and got. He's squatted well, he's deadlifted well. Final lift of the day. balance towards the top there. Couldn't quite finish off the lift. They lifted really well today. Finished off with 677.5. And that's it from me. Thank you guys for keeping me engaged in the chat. And hopefully next time we'll be allowed crowds at meets again, and I'll be emceeing instead of talking to people on the internet. See you later.